Welcome to Tea's Talk Time. I'm your host, Teresa Smith. Want to create a thumbnail for free using Canva? Okay, first go to canva.com, then type into the search box YouTube thumbnail. Select it or click on it from the drop down menu and you'll see that there are 20,000 thumbnail templates available. However, not all of them are free. This first one here is free. The second one here is free. This third one here is free. You see there's a lot of free ones. However, if you hover over the crown, you'll notice that you have to have a pro subscription in order to use that one, and the pro subscription is not free. So you just search around, and you can even select blank, which is what I do most of the time. They'll give you a selection of thumbnail templates on the side again to pick from, or you can just start by coloring your background and choosing different elements to create your own from scratch. So as I'm looking around at the selection, I'm thinking, what do I want to do today to make it easy to show you how to create a thumbnail? Now, I like this one with the outline because that seems to be a common theme on YouTube now. People outline their picture. However, I want something really simple. So I decided to select this gaming one. And as I hover over this particular template, I can show you the elements that can be changed or removed, which all of them can be changed and removed. However, I want to use some of the elements here. So first, I'm looking at the picture of the guy holding the video game, and I'm going to try to replace his picture with mine. So I have a picture where the background is removed like his, and I'm just going to move my picture into that same spot where his is and try to resize my picture to the size of his. Now, the number one problem that I see so far is his picture is more of a half body picture and mine is more portrait like. So as I'm increasing the size of mine by dragging the corners or the sides of my picture is not going to be sized exactly like his. So my picture is going to be really huge. My head is going to be really huge. If I selected a different picture, I would fit into the frame a little better. So I'm just going to try to resize myself. And once I do, then I'll remove his picture from the thumbnail. Now don't worry about the words that are on the other side. Those can easily be changed too once you click on them. You can change the font, the size. You can change the colors, the color of the inside of those letters, the outline colors you can change as well. So basically here I'm still resizing my portrait sized picture with the background removed to try to fit into the same space that his is in. And you don't have to do this. If you want, you can leave yours the size that you want, whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, whatever you feel looks good. So then I am going to remove his picture by just pressing delete. I'm going to move some words around, and then I'm going to get my picture, grab my picture with the mouse and move, well, the cursor. I don't have a mouse, that's why it's taking me so long. And move my picture into the position. So I noticed this little element behind me that was already in the picture, and I don't want it behind me. I might not even use it. I could change the element. If I decide to use it, I'm going to have to change the position of my picture. So I click position and I move my picture backward. As you can see, the element has moved forward in the picture, the small element with the three little lines. So I decide to move that around and place it somewhere where I think it looks okay. And once I get that into position, I'm going to start working with my title on my letters on the left. So I decide what I want to say. I double click it. It highlights all the letters and the words. And then I can just type in to replace what's there with what I want to place on the thumbnail. So I'm going to write how to create a probably YouTube thumbnail. However, I do want to use the different text boxes that are below. So I'm trying to stretch out this text box until I can see the entire words that I want to use in the first text box. And then I'll move it around to position. And don't worry about it obstructing my face right now. It's okay, because you can go up to the top and change the size by pressing or clicking on the minus symbol. Then I go to the next text box and decide what else I want to include. Double click it and change the words to whatever I want it to be. In this case, I'm going to continue my thought, and I'm going to have how to create a YouTube. Change the size and reposition the words to a better position. And then I'm going to work on the third and final text box. Now, mind you, you could have, or the person who created this template could have written everything in just one text box, especially if they're planning to use the same font all the way through. So I'm just using what's here to make it easy for myself, but I could have just deleted everything, kept the background if I wanted it, and went from there. So once I'm finished changing the last text box to the word that I want and resizing the letters and repositioning everything, I'm going to show you how to better position the picture, how to change the font, how to resize the letters, and even change the color of the background. You can also totally replace the background if you don't like it. But I don't want this video to be extremely long. Therefore, I'm not going to change too much. So as you can see, I'm taking a look at how I want everything positioned and to be centered. Then I'm stretching my picture out once again so that you can see my shoulders before you couldn't see them. So once I get this picture into the position that I really like, I'll leave that behind, and again, I can flip it. If I go up to the top, you can flip it horizontally or vertically. In this case, I flipped it horizontally. because I thought it looked better in that direction. You guys give me a comment below to let me know if you feel like the picture looked better in the other direction. We'll work with the picture again near the end of the video. So I see this little element at the top that I don't need that said Android. And I decided to just delete that because it has nothing to do with the thumbnail I'm creating. So you can add and subtract elements as you go. Now I'm going to show you a trick for outlining your photo that you place on your thumbnail that has the background removed, because lots of people outline their pictures now. That seems to be a theme or a trend on YouTube now. So all you have to do is go to edit and then go to shadow, pick out outline, and you see the outline pop up on the picture. Now don't worry, it's black and it looks strange. Just click on the color and go all the way to the tip to the left and you'll be at white. And now I've outlined myself in the photo in white, which looks better and matches the lettering. I could change it to any color, as you could see in the spectrum. So this is how it looks right now. This is how the thumbnail that I created for you to teach you how to do this thumbnail for free looks right now. And I decided that the background in gold, it looks okay. However, if I want to contrast it with what I'm wearing a little more, I could play around with the color and select from all the different colors that are listed there on the left when I click on the background. So I've tried a lot of different colors. You might think that some look better than others. I was just playing around with the color to show you the variety, the vast variety of colors and color schemes that you could go with, even for changing the background. This also applies to the letters that you place on your thumbnail and the outline of the picture. They could be changed to any of these type colors. There's also a little further below some gradient colors, colors that fade from one end to the next into greens and blues, etc. So I wanted to show you how you could also use the gradient colors if you decided to do that. Okay, so I decided again to look at my picture so that my whole shoulder is in the picture or in the thumbnail. And now I'm going to resize some of the letters or even change the font maybe, because I feel like this font in some places it looks too thin. So I chose Anton, and I just clicked on whichever text box I'm working with and go and select Anton from the drop box to change each set of letters and text boxes to the same font. Then you can go ahead after that and resize them, as I'm doing here. So you might have a problem where the spacing changes and you can just click in front of the word with your cursor and move things over and center them. There are little lines that pop up to show you when you have centered all the writing. And again, you can resize anything. So feel free to resize whatever you want. And change up things. That's what I love about editing my thumbnails and even videos using the free version of Canva. because no one wants to spend money. Well, some people do, if you have a lot. So basically, everything that I do on my channel, I do for free. So I find free tools to create everything that you see on my channel. Again, I'm a retired teacher and I'm on a budget with one child who is in college. So when I do creative things, and I love to do many creative things, I always find a way to do them for free, whether it is publishing my books, creating apps, or creating YouTube videos, thumbnails, etc. So as you can see, I've positioned all the letters into places where I want them to be. And once I'm set with that, I'm going to show you how I can click on that letter A eventually to change colors with the letters or the outline of this particular font, the effects. So you can either go to effects at the top, like I'm about to do, and the letters, and you can change the color that is outlining the letters, like I did just here, right here. However, as I thought about it, I decided that I didn't want these letters to be outlined in purple. That would be strange. So I just changed it back to black, made sure that everything was in the proper place. And then at the top, you're going to see me give this project in Canva a title. So I didn't like everything that was there, and I wanted to change it because when I'm done, it's going to be saved to my desktop when I download it. And so I can find it easily when I'm ready to upload it to YouTube. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've changed the name slightly, and I'm going to write sample at the end. Since I'm probably not going to use this as the thumbnail, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind or come back to it and change a few things for the thumbnail of this video. And this is how you download your thumbnail to your laptop or your device. Just allow it and it'll pop up. And when you go back to Canva, your project will be there as mine is. And what you can do is you can take your mouse or whatever you use and click on home, and you'll see all your different projects there. As you can see, it still has the gold background, but don't worry, it takes a little time to process. So when you click on that, you'll see when I click on it, it is still green, like the one that I downloaded to my desktop. So I'm going to click on it, and you'll see that it remains green. And later on, when I go back to my projects, it'll have a thumbnail that I can click on that looks exactly like this one. You can open it up and revise it. So like or comment for more how-to videos.